Hey, it's Naftali. Today I wanted to talk about finding the silver lining and why you don't really need to do that. Let's first describe what do we mean by silver lining, finding the silver lining, right? It means like finding, in case it's not obvious, it means like finding the happiness in a bad situation, right? So you apply for a job, you go in the interview, you think they really like you, and you feel like you really kicked ass in the interview, and and then you don't get the job, and you're like, oh, kind of depressed and stuff, and one of your very well-meaning friends says like, hey, dude, like, I know you're kind of down, but why don't you see the silver lining? Like, maybe it's for the best, maybe you didn't really want a job where you had to commute an hour each way. And you're like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's probably good. And another one is like, yeah, and like, they're going to have like, probably really long hours there too. And maybe you don't want to work at that kind of company. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And, and then somebody else like gives you some other token of like the silver lining. And you're like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Right. Now, obviously there's no harm in doing this, right? But the challenge, the problem that I see, is that in the first case, you were looking for evidence outside of you for being happy. You see? You thought that having this nice job, or nice salary, or nice whatever it was, or nice, partner, date, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. You thought that that was going to bring you happiness. And now that it didn't work and it feels like it's bringing you sadness, you're looking for other evidence outside yourself of something that's going to make you happy, right? You're looking for other evidence of why the world is okay, why you can be okay in this world, right? So it looked like, all right, the world would be great if I got this job. And now that I didn't, well, now I need to look, well, the world is great because it was kind of a crappy job to begin with. And thank God I didn't get the job because I wouldn't have really liked it. So you're always looking for evidence outside yourself of why it's okay for you to feel good, why it's okay for you to feel happy. Now again, there's no harm in doing this, except that it perpetuates this idea that anything, any story outside of you, any story that you can paint a picture of is the cause of your happiness, right? Anything that we can observe, whether it's like a good situation, like getting a nice job, or sort of a flipped silver lining of, well, you didn't really want that job anyway because there was a long commute. You're looking for reasons outside of you to be happy. Right? Now, I'm saying, so you might ask, like, well, isn't it a good idea to try to have better thinking, right? Because we know that with better thinking, we have a better experience of life, right? That's pretty obvious. That's not new information. So you might be asking, well, how do I get better thinking then? If you're telling me don't try to find the silver lining, how do I get better thinking? And I'd say you don't. Don't try to get better thinking, all right? Better thinking will come to you on its own. It's how the system is wired. Right? It's how the system is wired. It's kind of like if you got a bellyache because you ate some bad food at a restaurant or something. And you're like, well, clearly I want to feel better, so what do I do to feel better? And at a certain level, it might look like you could, drink some Pepto-Bismol or something like that. But at a certain level, you know that if you just do nothing in a day or two, you'll be fine. Right? The body knows how to take care of that. You might be kind of miserable for a couple days, but you know that the body is going to do its thing and take those, germs out of you and heal you up again, and within a couple days you'll be fine. So when you have, call it bad thinking, fearful thinking, upset thinking because you didn't get a job or whatever it might be, that's fine. That's fine. Your body's going to take care of that. Your mind's going to take care of that. Fresh thinking is already on its way. These crappy thinking thoughts that you're having right now, they are already on their way out. It probably looks like they're permanent, like you're going to feel this way forever. But trust me, those thoughts are already on the way out. You don't need to do anything to push them out. And in fact, like I said, trying to get better thinking really puts us in this mode of not getting how the system works. And it puts us in a constant busyness, a constant doing, a constant, I'm in control of my life and I got to take care of this. And you don't. Life is taking care of life, just as your digestion is taking care of itself, just as you learn to walk without anybody telling you how to learn to walk. Life is taking care of life. You can let go a little bit. Right? So I hope that makes it a little clearer. And if you have any questions or don't agree or anything else, please share, and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks.